So we are now going to discuss about the usage of array and strings. So we discussed about the split and join function, and after that I think we have already discussed about the split and the join function. So we are going to discuss about the 2D array today and then the dictionary object. So the 2D array is basically defined like this: int square bracket in between comma, which basically displays there are two dimensions, is equal to new int 2 comma 3. The first dimension basically stands for the rows. So 2 is number of rows and 3 is number of columns. And then we use a for loop. So there will be two for loops. First loop for the rows and the second loop for the columns. So for each row, I equal to 0, I less than 2, I plus plus. For each row, we iterate the columns j equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus, and then we say data ij is equal to, we are trying to populate the ith and jth value with some I plus j into 10 value. And then we are basically printing the 2D array value. So 2D arrays are basically helpful when we want to store data from a database or read from an Excel sheet, because that's the structure generally these type of data structure follows. So two-dimensional array, any object having rows and columns can be stored in the format of a two-dimensional array. So this is the output which we get. Now let's talk about the dictionary object. The dictionary object is also known as a hash map in Java. The purpose of a dictionary object is to allow an index value to be of type, a key value to be of type non-number. Okay, so in arrays we have seen that the indexing is hard-code a number. Sometimes our data itself is rich enough that it contains a unique value. So these kind of data structures could be stored in something called as a dictionary. A dictionary basically has a key value pair where an array of keys is associated with an array of values. And keys in the dictionary are always unique, and so because of it the key value pair is always unique. How do we define a dictionary? We define a dictionary, let's say here we have defined a dictionary of key type integer, value being string. It's defined as using the angular brackets, employee is equal to new dictionary int comma string. Okay, then we say employee dot add, we add the values. So these are all the employee IDs followed by the name of the employees. So add is a method which is available with the dictionary object to add key value pair. Then we want to find out whether the record or the dictionary contains a particular key. If it contains, it will get returned true. If it contains a particular value, we will get true. If it doesn't contain that particular value, we will get false. Then if we want to remove a particular key, the key value pair will get removed. And then to iterate the employee records, we use the for each loop and we say key value pair int string pair in employee. We want to print 0 and 1 pair dot key and pair dot value. This is how we basically run a dictionary program and associate and enter some values in it and iterate through it to print those values. So is this clear to you? Any question? Anything which is not clear? So I'm sharing this program with you and I'm giving you a question to try on your end. So the values which you will be storing in dictionary are like this. This is the first record. This is the second record. Now you have to print information like this. This is for first record, then second record, and so on and so forth. So this is the question which you have to do. Please start attempting it. Try to first form the algorithm. Tell me what all values or what all concepts which we have used you will be using in the program, so that I can understand that your approach is correct or not. You have 10 minutes for it. Yeah, can you let me know the approach you have taken?
Um, yeah, I'm a bit confused here because we have four, we have four parameters, right? So ID, name, designation, and age. So, but for dictionary, we can add only two values, right? The parameter can be only two values.
No,
So,
this is one string. This is a number and this is one string. So I can very well add employee dot add 1 comma this I can very well add, okay?
which one?
Sorry, see this. Similarly, you
Oh,
can add employee dot add because this is to be treated as a string. Now,
okay, okay. So
this
it's
is
still
the
a
printing.
string.
How do you print this information? The way I've asked you.
Okay.
What is that
So
you
you
use?
have to print as, yeah. So here key value it is.
Hmm.
So probably we'll have to that string we'll have to do a substring and take each value separately.
Substring will not help.
Substring will not help. So basically, we need employee ID as one. Um,
Do you remember the
then
split function?
split. Okay. So we'll have to split by column.
Yeah, colon. So
Okay.
while you are iterating using this pair dot value you have to split. So further information once you split, you will have another for loop inside it because the value would return to you an array of substrings and then you will be able to print it.
Okay. Okay. You want me to try it out? Pallavi?
Okay, so is it clear to you how will we do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we will be moving on to the next set of concepts where we are going to talk about regular expressions. So regular expressions are basically a pattern which allows matching of a set of strings. So it is a pattern which allows matching of a set of strings, and pattern is created basically using some meta characters like dot, which stands for any character, question mark, which says 0 or 1 occurrence of previous character, then star, which basically means 0 or more occurrence of previous expression, then plus, which basically means 1 or more occurrence of previous expression. Then we have got 0 to 9, which means any digit. A to Z, which basically means any alphabet. Capital A to Z, which also means any alphabet. Then we have got m comma n, which basically means minimum m times, maximum n times. Then you can have n just, which means exactly n times. Then you have got slash t, which means any digit, slash capital D, which means non-digit, slash w, which means any word, slash capital W, which means non-word, slash small s, which means space, capital S, which means non-space. So these are some of the meta characters which help us create patterns. Now let's see some example. Let's say we have these set of strings available to us. What is that we observe? Before this means starts and this means ends. We know it starts with C, ends with T, has 0 or more occurrence of A. So start C, A star T dollar. Is this clear? How I have created this regular expression? Okay, let's try another expression. So let's say we have these set of characters. We know that it starts with an alphabet. It ends with OLD. So start A to Z followed by OLD dollar. Clear? Okay. Now you go ahead and create a regular expression pattern for a mobile number of 10 digits which starts with 98. So mobile number starts with 98. In total there are 10 digits. So go ahead and create a regular expression pattern for this. A pattern which will match strings with this kind of information. And this is the table available for you. Please create it. Yeah, this is right. Or you could have said, using this exactly n times kind of a thing, you could have said 98/d 8 times. This would have been a shorter way, and this is correct. Okay. Then create regular expression pattern for cars having this license number. So if this is the structure of the license numbers, create a regular expression pattern which will support them. Sharing the table. Yeah, go ahead. So this is correct. Again, you should try to use the repetition thing as I have just mentioned you, because you know how exactly well they are repeating, right? And it cannot be D/D. The reason being slash D is non-digit. but doesn't mean it will be word. It could be space, it could be a alphanumeric character, etc. So I have shared the answer with you. That is the correct answer. Now let's see how regular expressions work in here. So you have to basically use system.text.regular expressions, and here let's say I've created a pattern using @ symbol is equal to A to Z or capital A to Z plus. That means there has to be one or more occurrence of a word followed by any number of occurrences of a digit. Now the string which I am giving is June 24, month followed by the date. These are the set of strings I have given. Now I am saying regex should match these set of strings followed by a pattern. This is the pattern which is available here. It should match these set of strings. And it should return me a array of matches. Then if a match is found, I will print how many matches are found. Now for each match in matches, I am trying to print the value and the index of the match followed by the length of the match. So June 24 is available between index 0 to 7, August 9 is available between 9 to 17 considering the space, December 12 is available between index 19 to 25. Then for each of the match, what I am trying to do is I am trying to find the group. What is group? Group basically tries to tell me how many part of a match are available. So this is one group, this is second group, this is third group, part is June and 24, then August and 9, then December and 12 as available with this pattern. And thus I am printing this information. Let's see until here and then we will talk about the rest of the program. So it is said that match is found for June 24, August 9 and December 12. And you have got June, day 24 found at 0 and 4, August, day 9 found at 9 and 15, December, day 12 found at 19 and 22. These are the groups available. Now let's try to create a small change. Let's say we have August 9 available like this. So August 9 will not match the pattern, right? Why? Because there is a space available. Because of this space, we will get only 2 matches. Can you see this? Only 2 matches are found. The middle one has not matched. So August 9 did not match. Or if you change the pattern, let's say you remove the space in here, then only one match will be found, which would be August 9. Okay? The rest of them will not match. So in our regex, we have got a match, which is the entire stuff. This is an entire match. This match contains group because there are 2 parts to this regular expressions. And then we can fetch each group. Any questions in here? Anything which is not clear? Fine. Okay. Now let's see about the concept of replacement. So here we have got a string pattern available. Then we create this replace string where we are trying to replace this information by saying $2 of $1. So basically we are trying to say 24th of June, 9th of August, 12th of December. So we are trying to interchange the string pattern with the help of the new pattern string. So this is the output. Is this clear? Okay. So let's take a small assignment. Ask user to enter a SSN number. Find whether the data provided is a valid SSN or not. Example of an SSN number is these are all example of SSN numbers. So you have to first tell me what is the pattern you will be creating, and then we are going to write down the program. Till here it should be fine. You don't need to go to the groups part. So first tell me what is the pattern you think would be suitable in here, and then try to write down the program. So this is the set of meta characters available. Go ahead and try it, please. Hey Sajid, are you able to implement it?
Yes, not completely. I'm um, just uh, basically I'm trying to see like what function I can use to verify the match.
Okay. So basically the match will be only if you get a match, right?
Yeah.
So basically you have this for each loop.
If
So if, or you could use this matches.count. If their matches.count returns you 0, then it means no match has been found. And basically it's an invalid SSN. Otherwise it
yeah.
will return you
Okay.
something, okay? Which is basically 1 because we will find one match. And we are
So if
not
the
entering
matches
multiple
dot count
strings.
is
We are just going to read one
yeah.
string at a time.
Okay. So what you're saying is if I give matches dot count is not
0.
equal to yeah okay equal to 0 then no match.
No match found. Because if a match
Yeah.
is found, it will return you
Hmm,
1, right? That one match is found.
correct. That's
Okay, so
correct.
complete
But
this. Mm-hmm. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. So, but I'm not comparing with that will be limited to only that whatever string I gave, right? If
Yeah.
I have to compare the values whatever I have inputted,
Mm.
so we should so that's where I'm just thinking how I have to write the code for that.
So you
Like
have to just simply
inputting,
ask the user to enter SSN number and you simply read it with console.readline, like we have been reading so
yes,
far.
yes, yes. That I did. That I did.
Okay. So after you have read it, you have to create a pattern. The pattern would be your, the pattern which you have shared was correct. So you
Yeah,
have to create
yeah.
this pattern as at the rate, whatever pattern you
Yeah,
created,
that
which
also I
was.
did. Yes, yes.
Then you have to ask regex.match in here. It will be your string str comma pattern. This pattern,
Okay,
whichever you
okay,
have
what?
created, this is your str which you have
Okay,
read from the user match
console. Okay.
collection. Now, if
Mhm.
matches.count is equal to 0, that means match has not been found. Otherwise, the match will be found.
Okay,
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 so
got it.
completed.
And yes, so should I import any package because I'm getting a
This is the
uh,
package which you have to import.
okay,
Okay, so we will now talk about the concept of reading and writing a file. So reading and writing basically belongs to the input-output operation, and generally there is a stream object available in place. So read and write text file is what we are going to talk about. As mentioned, they are the input-output operation, and the physical file is first converted into a logical entity called as the stream object, which is then read or written to. So first we are going to see writing a file. For this we use system.io package. So we have created an array of strings and the string is having some names. Then we create a stream writer object and we provide the path to the file where we want to write this information. Then for each string s in names, we want to say sw write line s. So we write each of these string in new line one after the another. Now when I run this program, it will basically write the file. So in the D drive, names.txt would be written with the names which I have given in here. Now every time you call this program, it will overwrite this file because we have not appended the content. Now let's see the program for reading file. The read file also uses the package system.io and here it also uses stream reader instead of stream writer is equal to new stream reader, and here instead of read line we have write line, we have the read line method. So we have a while loop, read the file until end of file is reached or until read line returns you a null. basically keep on reading the line and print that information on the console window. So we get this information printed on the console window from the file which we have just written down as we are reading it. So it's pretty simple and straightforward. Any questions in here? Okay. Now let's talk about exception handling. So an exception is basically a situation which arises because of the environmental problems. So for example, the database is not available anymore, or file is no longer found, or there has been problem with trying to iterate an array, etc., etc. So generally when such situation arises, we get an exception, which is basically handled by a try, catch and finally block. So in try, we write down a set of statements which can cause exception. In the catch, we catch the exception and perform some action on it. The code in the finally will always get executed whether we have an exception or not. So here we have created a method called as division, where it takes two integers, number1 and number2, and we have said result is equal to num1 by num2. In case num2 is 0, we are trying to catch divide by 0 exception, or we print finally in the where we are printing the result. So we create an object of this exception demo class. We call the method ddivision 25 by let's create by 5 first, so that we see how it works. So if we say 25 by 5, we get result 5, but let's say we are trying to divide it by 0, then in this case exception would come up and we will get division by 0 exception. Okay, so we get system divides by 0 exception attempted to divide by 0, and result is 0. So this is the output which we get. So this is the code for exception handling, pretty simple and straightforward. Any question in here? Okay. Then we have got like we have got try catch finally. In some value we have got throws and throw. So how do we use throws and throw? So here we have got a method available, get value from array, which takes as input an array and an index. So basically at the given index, whatever is the value of array available, we write it. So we say try return array index. If in case we get index out of range exception, we throw it. Okay, we throw it to the calling method. Then inside the program, we have created an array which contains 3 integers, and we are trying to fetch in value at second position. If in case value is found, then we go ahead and print it. If not, we are going to get the exception, which we are going to write it here. This exception will be caught in here because we receive index out of range value. So this is an example of the throws demo, where we are basically throwing the exception back to the main method, or the method calling the child method. So here no exception is there. We get the value, but let's say when here give 9. Now 9 as an index is not available. It is not a valid index. So we are going to get system index out of range exception. Okay. So this is the exception we are going to get, system out of range. Index out of range. This is with the help of the throws. Now you can also define and create your own user defined exception. In here we create and try to find out the temperature, where we have got a method temperature.showTemp. In case there is an exception which is available, we say catch temp is 0 exception. Okay. Now this is the class created, temp is 0 exception, which is inheriting from the exception class. So it is trying to find out the temperature. If temperature is 0, we say 0 temperature found. Else we write down the temperature which has been printed or available. So if the temperature provided is 0, we raise the exception, temperature 0 is found. So this is done by user defined exception, where we are basically inheriting our class from the exception class. So since we found 0 temperature, we will fetch 0 temperature. Let's say if temperature is 10 and then we run, then 0 temperature found will not get printed, rather temperature would get printed. Is this clear? Very simple program. Yeah, go ahead, Sajid.
Yeah, so what is the difference between throw and throws?
Throw basically, okay. Throws is basically used at the method level here. At the method level, you want to throw an exception. Okay? Throw is basically used inside a method.
Inside a method.
Inside generally a catch block or inside an
Yeah,
if-else loop. For example, I say if radius is less than 0, then you want to throw illegal argument exception.
okay.
So throw basically returns the exception object to the calling method. And generally throws is used at the method level. So if at the method level any error occurs, it is basically you don't use try catch, you just use at the method level.
Basically, so throws will not handle the exception. It will throw the exception to the
Calling
method
method.
where it calling
Calling
method. So
method.
throw, okay, and throw will handle the exception and it will
Throw
return
will
what?
also not handle the exception. Exception handling is done by the catch block. Catch block always handles the exception. The purpose of throw is to throw the exception to the calling method, to the main method.
Okay, so here in this example, what are you showing, displaying? So here throw argex, right? So argex is the basically it's a
Object of argument exception type.
yeah. So what I'm just confused here. So we are actually calling the object
This is
of
a
the
method.
method.
This is a method
Yeah,
which basically is going
yeah,
to return the value associated with a particular index for an array. So
correct.
return array index will return the value associated with the array index if all is good in this world. If not, then
Correct.
then what will happen? This index value will be provided which is not within the range. So we are going to capture
Yep.
this error. We say index out of range exception is come. So this will be caught. And then we
Yes.
create a new argument exception where we say this argument exception is index out of range exception. And we throw this
Okay.
just to basically provide our own uh, stuff. You could have also said, in this case, this method, this information will not be printed. Only that information will be printed which this is printing. So this is just to provide some extra information.
Okay. Okay.
And now here we define it. If I provide the index as 9 where the maximum index is 3, I will get an argument exception where index is out of range, or index out of range exception is what I will get.
Okay.
Read the program. Let me know if there is any doubt.
Yeah. So somewhere I read like if it is throws, it will throw more than one exception, throw will throw only one exception. Is that correct?
Like I said, throws is at the method level. A throw is associated at a
O-
catch block or with just one argument.
Okay. But both will not handle. It will just throw the exception.
Yes. Clear?
Okay.
So you have to do a few things. You have to go to this project properties. Sorry, you have to right click the project and say manage NuGet packages.
Mm-hmm.
And in here search for Selenium. When you search for Selenium, the Selenium WebDriver will come, okay? 3.7 version. Click here and install it. Then search for Chrome driver and
Okay.
install this, okay? So WebDriver and Chrome driver you have to install. You have to
Okay.
right click on the project and say, sorry, manage NuGet packages, okay?
What is NuGet?
NuGet is basically like we have got Java jars available in the
Mm-hmm.
install software when we use Eclipse
Yep.
environment.
Manage plugin.
NuGet is basically a package holder. Like we have got PPM in
Okay.
Python, oh sorry, Perl, and PI in Python.
Okay.
So this community
So only
edition
Chrome
of
driver and
Selenium WebDriver, download these two packages. Tomorrow we will be able to finish C hash because we are going to talk about object-oriented programming. And then I will give
mm,
you a small assignment to be start doing in C sharp where you have to basically automate the login logout scenario on your own. I'll leave the pointers and give it as an assignment to you.
yep. Okay.
So object-oriented programming, as you are already aware of, everything around us is an object. The concept of inheritance, concept of interfaces, concept of polymorphism, concept of classes and objects. So we will quickly go through them tomorrow, okay? And
Yep.
see how do we
Yep.
write these programs in C sharp. And then we will start with
Yep.
how do we call the browser in Selenium C sharp, how do we start working with that browser, and you will be able to recall a lot of it because you are already familiar in Java and Selenium, okay? So you should
Yep.
be able to recall a lot of it. Any questions
Yep.
for today's session?
Yeah. So, when you said a WebDriver and Chrome driver, so how about other drivers like IE
We will
driver?
do it. We will do
Uh,
it as time comes.
okay.
Since you are just
Okay.
going to start, I don't want it to be complicated for you for the weekend work.
Okay.
So
So,
yeah,
like after it, Firefox driver also we need to install, right? If you want to work in
Gecko driver,
Firefox.
Gecko driver,
Okay.
not Firefox.
Gecko driver. So
But
that's
we
the
will
same
talk.
thing for Java as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
Okay.
later.
Okay. Fine. Is it possible for you to just pass me throws and throw one sample program?
Yeah, I will do that.
Because
I'll mail you.
yeah, because that part, I just want to see like how it runs and see the output. So because I always had this doubt of throw and throws,
Hmm.
because usually we throw the exceptions, throws at the method level, but throw I haven't used it till now. So that's where I want to see. Yeah. So you want me to install now or
I mean, after the session, you can do it.
okay?
Okay, I'll share this link with you. This helps. So throws as a concept is not available in C sharp, it is available in Java to us. There is a
Okay.
concept called as checked exception and unchecked exception. Again, this concept is not available in C sharp but in Java. Checked
Mm.
exceptions are those exceptions which are detected by the compiler itself. At the time of
Yep.
writing down the program, the compiler detects them. Unchecked exceptions are those exceptions which compiler cannot detect. For example, if you try to write down a file program in Java and you are use the system.io methods, when you write down the program, the compiler will prompt you to say throws file not found at the
Yep.
method level. Whereas unchecked exception is array index out of bound. If we try to write down a program where you're trying to access an array element which is not available in the given index, you're not forced by the compiler to implement this exception. Whereas
Yep.
this is a checked exception. So generally throws is done at the method level. For example, void read file. Here you will have throws file not found exception. And then inside this, if any of the statements causes this exception to be causes this exception to be generated, it will be thrown. Okay. Whereas throw
Okay.
is at the method level. For example, void read array int index. Here you say if array index whatever, and then you have try catch in here. So it could be possible that you get an exception. Instead of handling the exception here, you simply say throw ex. Okay, this is at the method level. For checked exceptions generally, this is at the individual level inside a
Exception
method.
EX, right?
Yeah, exception.
After catch exception EX. Okay. So basically in the catch we are supposed to handle, but we are not handling. Instead, we are throwing the exception.
Yeah, to the main method, the one which has called read array.
Read array. Okay. So, so we are throwing the exception to read array. So now read array has to handle it, right? So what will happen?
Read array doesn't have to handle it. Let's say this is being called in the void main method.
Okay.
This has to handle it. So you will say try read array 5. Now in here catch. Since it will be thrown here, you will be using it.
Oh, okay.
Whatever message string etc etc. Instead of printing this information here, you have thrown it and asked the main method to handle it.
Okay. Okay. So this is fine. So throw and so throws are basically the unchecked exception, right?
Throws is
This is a
checked exception, throw is unchecked exception.
throws is unchecked and throw is
Throws
checked.
throws is checked, throw is unchecked.
Throw is unchecked.
But
Okay.
checked and unchecked is a Java concept, not a C sharp concept. So don't confuse it there.
Okay.
So the link I've shared with you, read it, you will understand it.
Okay. Fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I'll see you tomorrow then, Sajid. Okay, where we discuss
Yep.
about object-oriented programming. Download these NuGet packages because then tomorrow after completing this, I will show you how do you write a Selenium program and give you few assignments to be done.
Okay. Fine. Thanks.
Okay. See you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.